Hi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages. Welcome to this Friday Night Chaos for the 1st of February 2019. I am your MC for this evening, Scooby331. With me, as always, I have a very interesting panel of guests. We're starting off with a smaller panel tonight because a lot of people are actually busy. Um, I didn't know the last weekend of January was so busy for everybody, but whatever. So people are probably just going to start wandering and stumbling in as we go. Uh, we actually are starting a half hour late ourselves tonight because a few people were busy again, had things that they were doing, so whatever. But anyway, enough about scheduling conflicts. What tonight's title, if you've seen on the stream, was The Silencing of Roger Stone. That's going to be the meat of it. We're going to get into, obviously, in the second hour when we have a few more people come in so we can get a myriad of opinions on it. But right now, I just want to take you guys in and introduce you to the panel that I have with us because, as you know, this is the Friday Night Chaos. I'm just the MC. These guys are what actually brings the chaos to the stream. If you're not subscribed to any of these folks, please subscribe to them after I'm done introducing them because, again, they really are what make the stream a great stream. Uh, so, with enough of me blowing smoke, let's just get down to brass tacks. So, remember, follow them as I introduce them because how they appear on the screen with me is not the same way they appear on the screen with you. So, you'll be able to know who's who and what's what as they go. So, first, uh, I love streaming with this guy. He's really upbeat, great personality, and he gets under his sister's skin so well. He's really a great. And from one little brother to another, it's beautiful to watch. American Kelt, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Welcome to the first weekend of February.
Yes, and you know what's really
Not the
special
last
about
weekend of
this?
January.
Yeah,
Huh?
you know what's really special about this weekend?
No.
Tomorrow is 17 years. I'm with my wife.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's fucking
Hope for
sobering when you
many years
realize
to
that.
come.
Yeah, yeah, it's the sobering thing to realize when you think about it. And speaking of married men, this next gentleman with us, this we have, of course, is a true American hero. He just came back from the wilds of Venezuela and has a lot of stories and tales about what he saw down there. But he's actually going to be talking about that later on, but possibly with somebody else. So I don't want to actually step on the toes of that. So, and again, it's all up to him, but I'm stealing his thunder without even realizing it. We have Nano Reaper. Nano, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm fine tonight. Yeah, I've got a few little articles to go over, so yay!
Beautiful, beautiful. And as a journalist, I love going over these articles. So,
Real quick, Scooby, Memes of Destruction says congrats on being with your wife.
oh, memes. Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's scary. You think about it. I mean, our relationship is now old enough to qualify for a junior license. 17 years. I don't know if that's the same level as it is in the rest of the country. 17 you have to be to get a junior license. That's something they give the kids to go to back and forth to high school and to work, so the parents don't have to show for them. But
Uh,
hmm?
no, in Texas you can get a full license at 16. It's just provisional, as in if you get more than 5 moving violations, it's suspended until you're 18.
Oh, here if you get one at 16 with your permit, they take everything away till you turn 21.
Well, you
Yeah.
really don't need a car in New York.
Believe it or not, outside of Manhattan, you do. You really do. Even in the outer boroughs to get around. Because you can use the subways and you can use public transportation, but those are actually time consuming. The fastest way still is just get a small compact car, hop in and go. And actually, since we're talking about driving around in compact cars and chauffeurs, that brings us, of course, to my clone rocking the Scooby331 avatar. We have Tara Sin with us this evening. Tara, how are you?
Bah!
And she, of course, does her famous impersonation of a Scotsman's girlfriend. But in the meantime, though, I'm glad though that Tara's rocking the Scooby avatar right now, because for those of you who don't know, I'm using a computer that's on its last legs, this little laptop, and Tara's actually acting like as the producer of the show right now. She's running everything, so that's why there's you have twin Scoobies up on the screen. And really, seriously, this show could not be going down right now without Tara. So I'm really appreciative and thankful for that. And I understand you had the first article for the evening you wanted to lead us in with. I want to hear this now.
Which, by the way,
Mhm.
I deserve a congrats. On the 15th, I'm getting a Dodge Journey.
Oh, congratulations!
Oh
You're
yeah,
getting a car?
yeah,
Oh, so now you can drive up here.
yeah.
That's so awesome.
I can actually drive a car that's not trying to kill me.
Which means you can now follow up on your threats.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Nice. Very
I
cool.
can also
So,
bring the
Musketeers update. I don't think I can read Florida Man stories on this show anymore.
Nice. That's so cool.
But yeah, I can also drag my ex-fiance up there to follow up with my threats too. Because baby brother,
Yeah.
he can shoot you from another zip code.
Cool.
Wait, what?
Very cool.
All right, so the first article.
Mm-hmm.
2 on Long Island among 118 immigrants rounded up by an ICE sweep.
Oh, of course, you figures you'd pull that one on me. All right.
Luckily, Peaches was not rounded up.
Yeah. My wife is not illegal, by the way, to anyone listening. She just looks like an illegal.
Yeah, it's a running joke, and she's actually okay with me using it.
Yeah, I take her out all the time, and people come up to her and start talking Spanish to her, and she gets all pissed off because she's half Irish. She doesn't speak a word of it, but it's funny. She just looks it.
That's when you have me with you, and I look at him and I go, "No habla inglés," and I'm doing my hand around like all of us, or not habla inglés, but no habla español, and they're like, "Oh." That's when I look at him and go, "Habla inglés." I'm used to saying habla inglés first from when I was a telemarketer. On occasion, I would get Hispanic, where I would call Hispanic people.
Yeah.
And they answer this phone in Spanish. Now, I got in trouble for this many times, and I flat out told them to fuck off. I would ask them, habla inglés? They go, no. Muchas gracias, adios. And I'd set it to go to the next person to call again that spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, otherwise they're not going to understand me. So yes, I'm going to do it. You can.
They didn't like that either when I worked at a collections agency, and I did not like working collections. It really bothered me.
I hated being a telemarketer. Okay, so at least 2 immigrants in the country illegally were arrested on Long Island by federal immigration and customs enforcement agents in a 5-day roundup that netted as many as 118 suspects. ICE officials said in a news release. Agents from ICE, agents from Enforcement and Removal Operations, arrested 118 people from countries across the globe for violating immigration laws. Officials said, adding that more than 107 of them have been convicted of crimes or had charges pending. Additionally, more than 55 had either been issued a final order of removal but had not left the United States or had been deported and returned illegally again. The convictions included serious and violent offenses such as child sex crimes, weapons charges, and assault. A 41-year-old Panamanian national was arrested.
Panamanian?
Yes, thank you. Was arrested in Rockville Center after being released to immigration authorities from the Nassau jail.
I'll bet anything he was at Croxley Ailes' house.
Adding that the defendant has a conviction for attempted criminal possession of a weapon. Also, a 34-year-old Ecuadorian national with a conviction of first-degree sexual abuse was picked up in Deer Park. Their names were not released. The detainees' countries of origin were Colombia, Dominican Republic, Ecuador, El Salvador, Estonia, Grenada, Guatemala, Honduras, Israel, Italy, Jamaica, Mexico, Panama, Peru, Poland, Portugal, Russia, Senegal, Spain, Trinidad, and Venezuela. The arrest took place between January 14th and January 18th in a sweeping investigation called Operation Cross Creek. The success of this operation is a direct result of the full commitment of the dedicated men and women of ICE, said Thomas R. Decker, Field Office Director for REO New York. REO New York? I thought it was REO Speedwagon. Okay. In spite of the significant obstacles that ICE faces due to the dangerous policies created by local jurisdictions, which hinders the cooperation between ICE and local law enforcement, ICE will continue to devote the full efforts of our agency to protecting citizens and enforcing federal immigration law.
That's so funny. Let me just fill in the audience really quick. Deer Park, what that is you have up there is Route 231. That's Deer Park Avenue. That's the local drag strip. If you ever seen like in the movie American Graffiti, if you have a car and it's custom, that's where you go. It's all hot rods. Basically, you're not going to find a car up there that has less than $10,000 worth of custom work, I want to say, maybe more. You're going to see cars up there like lowriders. You're going to see donks. You're going to see muscle cars. You're going to see funny cars. You're going to see monster trucks. You're going to see Harleys. You're going to see Jap bikes. You're going to see dragsters. You're going to see anything you can think of up there, especially like, matter of fact, that's a good idea for a video. I'll go up to Deer Park Avenue once the weather breaks, and yeah, I'll just show you is what I'm talking about. But that's what's up over in Deer Park. It's also the only Sonic we have in this area. That's just something we never had in this part of the country. So there's a Sonic up over in Deer Park now. A lot of different fast food joints. So that's what's in that area. Plus, there's they got the Tanga outlets. That's like an outlet center where you go to buy all like clothes and shit, and an IMAX movie theater over there also. So the fuck else is in? Oh, and social services. Yeah, they got that's the welfare office. All that cool shit in the welfare office is smack in the middle of it. So and there's a lot of strip joints up over in that industrial park where the welfare office is. So. Yeah, that's probably why they picked up this asshole. He was probably coming home from a skin bar. As for Rockville Center, that's basically where you go if you want to tie one on and you're in college. The reason I said Croxley Ailes, Croxley Ailes is notorious for having something like, I think it's over 200 different taps of beer.
Jesus.
So, yeah. Oh, you guys.
Pumpkin beer?
What up?
Pumpkin ale.
Oh, yeah, they got.
Scooby, look in the chat.
I don't have it up because my computer will lag if I open YouTube. Why? Who's up in the chat? Oh, damn it, Pat.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Damn it, I can't hear you because it patches with the bell. What?
I said AP says, have a great stream, guys.
Don't care. Okay? Don't care.
Well, as long as he's still taking his nitroglycerin pills, to make sure that his heart keeps pumping, our thoughts and prayers are there with him and any other cardiac patient out there. We know every day is an uphill struggle, and just remember, wear the special socks to make sure that your feet don't turn purple from lack of circulation, and you'll be good. Can't think of any other tips to give you offhand. I tell you to start using something to scratch your head so that your hair don't fall out, but you don't got to worry about that. So.
I already scratches it with a Bic.
Oh, what, he shaves his head?
Looks like it.
I just thought that he had no hair. I just figured he was as bald as a fucking newborn baby. Go figure.
No, I think you'd have like the Patrick Stewart if he let it grow out.
True.
And he can't pull off a Patrick Stewart.
He admits to shaving it.
He does shave his head?
Yes, he says, nah, I tapped out the baldness. I shave it. So you're both right.
Okay, so
yeah.
There you go.
He got the receding hairline that went all the way to the back, and so it would look like Patrick Stewart and Captain Picard if he didn't shave it.
Gotcha.
So now he looks like Nero.
No, he doesn't have a full head of hair, dude.
From the 2009 Star Trek.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking the person of actual historical significance. Yeah. Emperor Nero.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're comparing Star Trek characters. I went with the bald Romulan.
Oh.
Yeah, Nero. I gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway.
Should have gone with Picard's clone.
Yeah. That one. There. Okay. So, are we to the next article now?
Yeah. Was this the one that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, yeah. This is the one I want to talk about. Representative Ilan, no, fuck that. I can't pronounce Somali first names. Representative OWar, she was elected from Minnesota, is proposing taxing the rich, meaning anybody that makes over about $250,000 a year, because that's rich to the Democrats. I just call that, upwardly mobile, at a rate of 90% to pay for shit like Medicaid for all. You know what? Fuck poor people at this point. I work hard. I work 100 hours a week. And you know what? I don't want to pay ridiculous amounts of my money to taxes. Poor people, get a better job. Other than that, fuck off and die. I don't care. And Sanders, of course, our favorite senator from the communist from Vermont, has proposed another bill because these Democrats, they love to tax people. Americans inherit more than $3.5 million. I don't know if this is total cash assets or real estate and cash assets. Would impose a 45% tax on the value of an estate between $3.5 and $10 million, and a 50% tax on the value of an estate between $10 and $50 million.
Okay, that's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. Okay, if you have property, like any kind of property with a reasonably sized home of more than 4,000 square feet, your heir is going to get taxed 45% of that value, unless you have land in Texas because you don't own the mineral rights, and so therefore it's cheap as fuck. But this is the kind of ridiculousness that is going. Don't tax people's successes. Tax their actual purchases.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And this is something, I guess, that the Democrats have never gotten through their fucking heads, is what they want to do is they want to keep taxing and tax. You can't tax an economy into prosperity. It doesn't work. It slows the economy down. The more regulations you have to deal with, the more stuff we have to deal with as business owners or as employees. What's the first person to suffer if there's suddenly a tax hike? It's not going to be the business owner. It's going to be the newest people hired.
Yeah.
Or you're going to start to see things like early retirement packages come out.
Like me personally, how the taxes work by me, I have to pay a village tax, then I have to pay the town tax, then I have to pay the county tax, then I have to pay the state tax, and then finally I have to pay the federal tax.
That's way too much fucking taxes.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous.
All right, Nano. AP says we sell tracts of land for oil and mineral exploration or lease them, but it's surprisingly stingy when it comes to profits. I think we get like $1,500 a year for sugarcane on 10 acres, and he's in Texas too. So
yeah, I'm talking about the actual mineral rights. for like the oil wells, because when you buy property, you don't technically own the mineral rights for it unless it's worked into the deed.
Yeah, he said we get like $3,000 for the oil wells unless they strike oil. They hit a pocket of natural gas a few years back.
Yeah, and that's lucky that you actually have the property rights to that, because most people in Texas don't have access to you have surface rights. You don't have actual mineral rights.
Come on, Pat. Get in. Go
He says it's because it's not in the deed. And you're correct.
I mean, a lot of people just have like where I'm at, I lease out 1,000 acres as a hay lease, and somebody else farms it for me.
That's nice.
Yeah, and then I get a chunk out of it, and I'm like, yeah, because I don't have time to go grow and cut 1,000 acres of fucking coastal hay. Yeah, they can drill under your property. They don't actually have to put the well on it. They can frack diagonally.
Yeah.
And then they claim, well, the wellhead isn't on your property, so we don't know shit. Yeah, but you know, it's Texas, man.
I know that's
it's because this state was basically built on agriculture.
Yeah. No, believe me, I've always wanted to see your state, man. Like, believe me, ever since I was a kid, it's Texas. Like, to me and the rest of my friends would always they get on me like, Scooby, what the fuck is it with you in Texas? I always used to tell them to me it was like a mythical place. I guess because it was like it was the '80s and the cartoons when I was a kid. They always showed Texas as being like this magical place. It's full of cowboys and all sorts of wild shit. Everyone screams out yeehaw and shoots their guns in the air. Everyone has a Cadillac with the big horns on the front. That's basically what New Yorkers think of Texas. We believe that there's a lot of really hot women that wear 10-gallon hats and ride mechanical bulls and drink beer by the pitcher. That's just it's this horrible stereotype we have of the state. But at the same time, it's one of those things I got to see, I got to see it for myself. So out of any state in the union, probably I wanted to see California when I was a kid, not no more. So, yeah, Texas is probably the only state I'm really, curious to go check out.
Well, and Texas is a little different. We are unique in the way we actually, run everything, because I don't know how to say this easily.
You're a republic?
Well, yeah, no, but we've also, you've got, if you go to East Texas, it's piney woods. From Houston north, it looks like the deep south, pine forest. You get out where I live, it's rolling grasslands. And then you get out towards Alpine or places like that. It's high desert. So, it's all kinds of different terrains. We don't have any real mountains, but close enough.
That's all what we got up by me. Once you get out of where I live, because a lot of people don't realize the geography in my state. Where I live, the 5 boroughs in Long Island are at the very, very bottom of New York State. There's literally New York State proper, and then this cluster of islands underneath it in the ocean. That's where I live, in the cluster of islands. But once you get into New York State proper, it has nothing to do with where I live at all. And it's actually a red state. A lot of people don't realize this. My state is actually red. It's controlled by this cluster of blue islands. It's very bizarre. And it's
Albany.
Yeah.
Albany and Buffalo are red or blue too.
Yeah. Well, that's only because all the people who live here, the quote-unquote politicians, they commute up there. And they have a residence up there also, but they never stay there. They'll stay there in the summer when it's nice for a month or two, but they spend the rest of their time down here. But yeah, Albany, Buffalo. I think Rochester is blue also, but those are really small little enclaves. The rest of the state it's like a miniature version of Canada meets the Rust Belt. It's really weird, New York. It's like self-contained.
It's also pretty much agricultural as fuck too.
Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people don't realize we actually beat out per capita Wisconsin in dairy.
And you got a lot of apple farms too.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're famous for our apples. Like the reason that New York City was known as the Big Apple is actually because of the Bronx apple. That's where the name came from. Like, I think the most common variety of that is the Granny Smith Green. That's actually a derivative of the Bronx apple.
Oh, I love those things.
Yeah. Oh, you would love it then if you came up here. This is why I try to tell you, ignore that fucking disgusting Manhattan. Go with me upstate. Go to the orchards, you know. Go try, like...
Where I can eat Granny Smith apples straight off the fucking tree. Oh my God, I would have it.
That's upstate New York. If you go to the Hudson River Valley, I consider that the most beautiful place I've ever seen. You know, I mean, I've been to Miami, and the Caribbean is nice, don't get me wrong. But, nah, the Hudson River Valley is beautiful. And it basically, I've heard it compared to the Napa Valley up over in California. I've never been, so I couldn't say. But Hudson River Valley, and even by me, if you go all the way out east and you go to the vineyards at like Riverhead, you know, you could go out like and take a day and you just go wine tasting. And it's really beautiful. Like upstate rather, it's really beautiful, and it's a shame that everyone equates my state with the cesspool that I live in, because it's not really fair to the state. You know, the rest of the state is beautiful. It's this clusterfuck of islands that I inhabit. That's what the problem is. Patches, what the fuck? What is this, an eat-a-thon? Daddy's gonna have to take you for a roll instead of a walk. Sorry, fucking dog is eating his way out. Come on, good boy. Get the fuck out of here. Go on. Sorry. Ugh.
All right.
So is that the end of the article now, or?
Yeah, basically, they just want to tax the shit out of us.
Yeah.
Here's one. This is an article. It's okay. You guys know we're getting rid of the Humvee, right?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
What are we putting in its place? Do you know?
The Joint Light Tactical Vehicle. It's a replacement. It's designed to be more mine resistant. Blah blah blah. But okay, so it's taken 4 years to design the replacement of it. It took 4 days for privates in third ID to flip one and total it.
Wow.
Joint Light Tactical Vehicle.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm looking it up now myself. See what this thing looks like.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it would be really mine resistant. It's too flat on the bottom.
The hull is angled underneath. It's still got the wheels way out at the corners. And it's more IED because they're not really using mines anymore. So, but the fact of the matter,
the point of having them angled at the bottom is to direct the blast from IEDs or mines.
Yeah, but what we're dealing with now is more like mines that are command detonated when the vehicle's beside it, hence the heavy doors.
And the sides are not angled.
Yeah, they'll take the fucking black. Well, they're still gonna get fucked up, but you know, I just think it's funny. You have it for 4 days and you manage to total the son of a bitch. So, you know.
I mean, I know it's not the point of it, but God, that thing is ugly.
You know,
I like it. I like the look.
You don't design the military vehicles to be pretty. You design them to do a
survive.
Job.
Well, you know, you're talking to somebody that thinks that the A-10 Warthog is one of the sexiest machines ever designed. So believe me, I have a love for military vehicles.
Yeah, I love the Warthog too.
Yeah, I just gotta get used to the height and the stance of the thing. I'm so used to the Humvee for years. This big ugly beast, it's just oof. It's a lot to digest that this is what the troops are gonna be in. But if it's a better vehicle overall, I'm all for it. You know? Just comes down to getting them home alive, so fuck, as far as I'm concerned, they could paint the damn thing lavender and put bows on it, you know, as long as it works.
Yeah, I mean that's the problem though with the fucking Warthog is it's outlived its usefulness.
I know. It's a shame. Even the Mona Lisa's fading.
Well, I mean there are no replacement parts for it, so
yeah,
you know, and the fact that that gun is not worth what everyone always says it is. But
they made better armor that can withstand the gun.
The gun, when the tank was designed, when the aircraft was designed, it couldn't penetrate the modern armor of a production Soviet tank in the 1960s. The gun has always been overrated.
Yeah.
It's a nice gun, but you know what? You need to kill like a soft side vehicle is a 50 cal.
Well, I heard that they're planning on bringing back some propeller-driven planes as close air support.
Yeah.
Because jets are just overkill.
Well, props have the ability to loiter over the area longer. In all honesty, Air Force, CAS, close air support's really the domain of helicopters.
Yeah, I've been saying that for years.
But if you're going to do it with an airplane, a turboprop makes more sense.
Or maybe design a tilt rotor.
Tilt rotors have your problems with that is you have too many moving parts.
Yeah, true.
And again, I wouldn't want to use something with a tilt rotor if it's going to be in some place where it's going to take in a lot of oncoming fire, just specifically for all those moving parts. All you need is one good shot and you can fell the thing. So,
true.
Yeah, you want something out there that's actually going to be able to take some damage coming in from like smaller arms on the ground. You know, you're going to have guys sitting there trying to drop it with like large caliber rifles and possibly even small explosives. You need something that, you know, can, one, evade that sort of fire if it's coming at it, and two, if it does, unfortunately, if it can't avoid it, it can at least take some damage and still be able to at least function or return to base and not be a loss, you know.
Are we waiting on I guess we're going to wait until the second hour to get into the Roger Stone story?
We're already in the second hour. Well, yeah. 11:30 is the second hour.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, we could go into the Roger Stone thing right now. I mean, I put it up as basically the meat of the thing, because I myself have not been following Roger Stone. Ironically, though, Tara, myself, and Burnside seen him speak last September down at Moore.
Yep.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to be, you know, complete disclosure here. The problem I have with Roger Stone is he's basically the harbinger of doom. He's the one that brought modern lobbying to what it is today. So I kind of dislike that, because I'm actually, lobbying is one of the things I'm against, and this is the guy who invented it. So that's kind of the only problem I have with the man. Other than that, and look, I hate saying this. This is going to sound really fucked up for me to say. I didn't know this till I seen him speak at Moore. Roger Stone is Sicilian. And that puts a whole different shine on his business. When he said that, I said, oh, I really hate saying that and sounding like I'm a racist or I have preference or anything of that nature, but it makes me now like have even less trust for the man, because, you know, from my father's family, knowing the culture. And when he was, because I hate saying this, it's just now I look at him and I think of every one of his actions and motives as like being sneaky or underhanded, because I see a gangster now. You know, I really hate saying that, but I know you. I figured you get a kick out of that, but it really does, bro. You gotta understand. He came up to the stage wearing a fucking white suit, and he's like, "I'm a Sicilian," and I looked at him. I'm like, "Oh fuck, you pimp bastard."
Okay, what's the significance of a white suit? I mean, was he from Kentucky?
No. It's not like he was Boss Hog. What it was is,
I was thinking KFC, but okay.
No. What it was basically, it is Lucky Luciano was notorious for wearing the white suits, and Lucky Luciano was a pimp, and he was a pimp that specifically specialized in white women with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Well, maybe it's just me, but his suit seemed more gray than white.
Maybe it was just because it was shitty out and it was reflecting it.
It was shitty out. I swear he was wearing a gray suit.
It looked like
white look like
on Uber guy's fucking YouTube or someone else's that was there. They got video of it.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, just when he was talking and he made that statement, the old saying, I hadn't heard this when I was a kid, and it's a real cuisine greaseball saying. The fish dies from the head. That's a mobster saying. So when I heard him say that to the audience, my eyes got huge, and Burnside's like, what? I'm like, bro, I said, he's talking like all gangster shit up there. It was just, so I guess it's just because, the thing with the lobbying, and so I have a bit of a bias towards the man. But that having been said, again, full disclosure, that all having been said, this newest round that he's going through where they're going to hit him with a gag order, see, the whole thing is Roger Stone's an insider, and that's basically his shtick is information. So I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just
information broker.
Yeah. It's just when I seen that they were going to put a gag order on him, and I mean, it's already he got arrested on bullshit charges, and it's all trumped up shit. So I don't know. Just something about this all stinks to me. And that's the thing. Unfortunately, Burnside's working because Burnside's been studying this like freaking religiously. And it sucks because I can't talk to him about it right now because he's busy at work. Because I wanted to know what the hell's going on. All right, here, Patches. Come on. Last thing.
I'm actually glad he's at work, seeing as he was out of work for a week due to fucking weather.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm glad he's at work, too.
And sadly, our trip is postponed until sometime in March.
What happened?
Our trip is postponed until sometime in March.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
Well, he doesn't want me to freeze to death up there.
Well, yeah, I don't blame him. Well, it's his own fault for living in the tundra.
I'm just saying a northern border wall would put that to rest.
I'm all for that, actually. But you know what happens then? We put that northern border wall up, and the price of maple syrup's going to skyrocket because we won't be able to get it bootleg no more.
No, but you still have Rhode Island and Vermont's maple syrup.
True. That is very true. I didn't even think of that. But, back to this thing, though, with Stone. I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think? Is this like the canary in the coal mine? Like, is this the Democrats flexing their muscle because of his connection to the president? I mean,
I haven't read the article, so I don't fucking know. I don't care.
I'm to the thought. I think that what this is the Democrats are as usual grasping at straws.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Terry, you should care because if they succeed, this is the thing that changes precedent. If they're able to silence this man over nothing, what's to stop them from silencing us? That's the reason I actually grabbed the article. Again, I'm not a fan of Roger Stone at all. Burnside's the one that likes him. I don't like the guy. But, I mean, if they're able to do this to Stone, look at what they did to Alex Jones. And now they're going after, Roger Stone. I mean, what's next? I mean, that bag of shit, that fucking gremlin, Schumer. I seen him in the beginning of the week. He actually asked the Joint Chiefs to have an intervention with the president. Who the hell does this hook-nosed fuck think he is?
Well, Schumer's an idiot anyway. Have you ever seen his niece? I mean, come on.
Don't even say that.
Yeah, that's not. Schumer is a problem.
Yeah.
I heard she's pregnant.
Who the fuck would fuck that shit?
The blind man?
Scooby.
Yeah, you're funny. Nah, never. Never. I still have nightmares about that. Are you kidding me?
You think Cookie Dough's her favorite ice cream?
Oh, go to hell. Go to hell, Kat. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Go straight to hell.
You know what? Between you and me, I think we are in hell.
It was like a bear trap.
Nano, do you have any idea what they're talking about?
Not really.
All right, I'll give you the quick version.
She screamed for cookie dough ice cream.
And Cookie Monster fucked her?
No. Okay, here's what happened. About, I guess, maybe 7 or 8 years ago now at this point. I was at some bar. Might have been even up in Rockville Center, like we were talking about earlier. Could have been over in the town of Babylon. It might have actually been in Lindenhurst because it turns out Amy Schumer's mother lives around the block from the one Chinese restaurant in the neighborhood with a bar. So I really doubt that it was there, though. But anyway, I was at a bar with a couple of my friends, and it might have actually been that buddy of mine. He's the guitarist now for the band Monochromatic Black, but at the time he was in a different band. It was either This Life We Live or As I Lay Dying. And I think I went out with him and like a few other people, and we went out to the bar. I myself don't drink, so I go out to play darts. And there was a girl there. And she came up to me and she started coming on to me. And unfortunately, I didn't have on my wedding band because for whatever reason, this is 8 years ago, I think I had lost it, misplaced it, forgot it, whatever. And she had even pointed out that I wasn't wearing a wedding band when I said I was married. So went to excuse myself and walk away from her because, it was nice talking to you. She was very drunk. And she grabbed my arm. And she was not taking no for an answer. And she grabbed my arm really hard. Actually, like I had finger marks afterwards. Like I had to pull away from her. And she was really aggressive and really drunk. And the whole experience was a little bit unnerving, let's just say, for lack of a better term. I had no idea who the fuck this broad was because I don't watch television. I don't watch movies. And it's during the election. And we're watching the TV. And I say to my wife, I go, that's her. She goes, who? I said, that's the broad that got nasty with me that night at that bar. And she goes, Amy Schumer, the actress? I go, I don't know who the fuck she is. I said, that's her. So apparently it was Amy Schumer was the one that grabbed my fucking arm while I was at that bar. So that's what Tara and Kel think is hysterical. So. Yeah. It's funny. Basically got Me Too'd by one of these Me Too broads. So
Yep.
Go figure.
I love picking on him about it.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things, like, if it ever came out in the wash and people said to me, well, why don't you come forward? It's one of those things, oh, grow the fuck up. Seriously, grow the fuck up. A drunk broad came on to me. It's not anything I'm going to go drag her through the goddamn mud over. You know? Like, some of this Me Too shit, yeah, I can understand. If some guy hit you on the head with a mallet, stuffed you in the trunk, and then took you home and had his way with you for 3 weeks, well, fuck yeah. But if somebody brushes past you in the subway and you decide to follow him for 6 blocks to find out where the fuck he works, yeah, again, get over it. It's like using an elephant gun as a fly swatter, is the old saying. It's overkill. And they killed all credibility and all everything basically that could have been of any use with this Me Too shit that they did. Because, of course, my wife is calling me while I'm on the air. Give me a second. Sorry.
Ugh. I don't know. The Me Too movement's played out anyway.
It is. I just like picking on him about it. So an article was posted in the chat, so I pulled it up. CBS accused of editing Virginia Governor Northam's comments on third trimester abortion bill.
Oh, is this the governor that just today got accused of blackface?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Governor of Virginia. So yeah, apparently he passed. Shit. Let me find that shit. He was accused of being in blackface.
Well, while you're looking for that, I'm going to read this.
All right.
CBS was accused Thursday of downplaying Virginia Governor Ralph Northam's comments on late-term abortions, in which critics say he indicated a child should be killed after birth. CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor reportedly broke the media's silence on Northam's comments Thursday during a brief newscast in which political correspondent Ed O'Keefe ran a short soundbite that seemed to downplay the Virginia Democrat's remarks by ignoring the full context of his statement. The story was framed as Virginia governor today responds to critics after a move by Democrats who ease restriction on late-term abortions ignited an intense debate. Ed O'Keefe said Northam upset anti-abortion rights activists and that the outrage over Northam's remarks were unfounded. Let's see. The segment began with Glor introducing Northam's response to intense backlash. A soundbite of him doubling down on his comments played. Virginia Democrats are on the side of ensuring women have access to the health care they need. After going on to explain the logistics of the bill, O'Keefe played a short clip of Northam's statement from his interview with WTOP. And then a discussion would ensue between the physician and the mother. But Northam's full comments on the bill were what sparked outrage from conservatives who felt he implied a child should be killed after birth. So, in this particular example of a mother in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered, the infant would be kept comfortable, the infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physician and mother. The intent of his comments was not clear, but some conservative commenters and lawmakers took his remarks to mean that he was discussing the possibility of letting a newborn die, even infanticide. CBS did not respond to Fox News' request for comment. Analysis of Wednesday night's news coverage from Newsbusters found that CNN, MSNBC, and the broadcast network's nightly newscasts ignored Northam's shocking comments. Newsbusters analyzed coverage from Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, and MSNBC from 7 p.m. till midnight Eastern Standard on Wednesday and found that only Fox News included the story in its nightly coverage. On Friday, Northam came under fire, this time over the emergence of his old yearbook page, in which included a photo of two people in blackface and KKK garb. As he apologized for the photo and the hurt it inflicted, there were calls from various lawmakers and social groups for his resignation.
Well, let's see. It's the people are going to be constantly. Who is echoing? All right.
What?
Okay. Someone's echoing.
It was Scooby. Scooby was echoing. No, yeah. Apparently, back in college days, and judging by the Corvette he's sitting beside, which was. They stopped making that body style in '83. Apparently, he posed in a picture in either a KKK outfit or in blackface. It's Virginia in the 1980s, early '80s, or 1984. You know what? It was a different time, and people need to get perpetually unbutthurt. You know. But that's basically what it is. This guy is a turncoat. He's a Democrat, and they're basically trying to force him out so they can put another fucking ridiculous ridiculous fucking retard in office. Guess what, Virginia? You're about to flip back red. Have a nice day.
Yeah. You know, again, it's college. I was in a fraternity. I mean, I don't. It's one of those things where it's not actually hurting anybody. When they say it causes hurt, who the fuck got hurt by that? A couple of idiots acting like idiots. It's a picture. You know, unless they like take the thing and they like sharpen the edges of the corners and they're like stabbing people with like a picture of it with the picture, or unless they take the picture and they put it on like a solid object and they're smacking people with it, the picture's not going to cause any pain. You know, seriously, unless you like literally weaponize the picture and start hitting people with it, it's not causing any pain. The fact that this asshole is sitting there and capitulating to them that it's causing pain, and then they're calling for him to be dismissed. I mean, come on. Obviously, I'm not the only one who sees it, but this is bullshit. Complete utter bullshit.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you that it is going to be complete utter bullshit. And they're going to keep with the complete other bullshit because of the fact that that's all they need to do. You know? I mean, they don't care. All they want to do is put forth their brand of completely eliminating the power. What they want is they want complete control over the American populace. And you're lying to yourself if you think anything other than that.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to be happy until they take over. You know.
Yeah, they want to basically create like a new serfdom and fiefdom. They basically want us to be like their subjects. That's what they want. Bunch of evil fucks. This is. You know, I keep saying it over and over, and I hate saying it. You're going to see a civil war within this country. It's going to be sometime within the next 20 years. Sooner than that, I think. And it could be avoided. But unfortunately, the Democrats will not have it because for whatever reason, they want this badly. And I really hate saying it. This is the Democratic Party, in my opinion, at this point, are the assholes in the bar and Jack Reacher. And the American populace is Jack Reacher. And they're trying to pull the American populace out into the street to get that fight on. And that's basically the way I'm looking at it now, is they're going to keep pushing the public. And you can only push John Q. Public so long before he pushes back. These Democrats are not going to be happy. And I really feel bad. But this is the shit that if the radical Republicans would have been able to get their agenda pushed through at the end of the Civil War, we would not be having these problems now. And it's the God's honest truth, and I hate saying it like that because Lincoln thought it was too, you know, that's why they were radical. He thought it was too severe, too radical, and you know what? We would not have any of this shit going on if we would have done what they wanted, which is just get rid of the Democratic Party. That was their point.
Yep.
You know, and I think I told you about it last night. That woman I was talking to, and she's sitting there and she's telling me, "Fuck the rest of the country. Everyone lives on the coasts." And then I told her about how I had been reading up on the thing to move the stuff from Virginia to, you know, like to Detroit, to Chicago. I said, you know, it's to revitalize over there, and without even missing a beat, she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm from Cleveland originally." And I'm looking at her, I'm like, "But you were just saying fuck the flyover states 2 seconds ago." It's like, wow. You move to New York and you forget where you live, where you're from immediately. And that's the thing I've been saying. This woman like proves what I've been saying for like months now, which is, you know, New Yorkers get a bad rap, and my thing is not. These are all pieces of shit from the rest of the country who move here. Gonna sit there and say like fuck where you're from? Wow. I couldn't even fathom that.
And that's one of the reasons why I'm like not big on fucking New York or, you know.
You know, my home would be beautiful again if we could get these fucking people out of here. Like seriously, I want to make it where this is not a place for them. I want America to be a place where people like this are not fucking welcome or wanted. And when they say, "Well, Scooby, who are you saying when you say you don't want them welcome or wanted here?" The pieces of shit. All the people you've seen at Hillary's inauguration fucking thing that didn't come to pass, those are the people I want to get them the fuck out of here. The people where you're sitting there and you're trying to have a barbecue with your friends and you're trying to have fun and they come over and because something you're doing offends them, who the fuck are you? You're on the other side of the park. Am I sitting there sending shit over to you to get your attention? No, you went out of your way to come see, well, what's that commotion and what can I put a stop to? You know, Sargon has it right when he calls these people moral fucking busybodies. I call them losers. They got nothing going on in their own life, so they have to ruin everyone else's fun. They're fucking losers. That's what they are. Bunch of fucking sexless eunuch fucks. Seriously.
Yeah, and you'd be having a barbecue, they'd want to ban it because, you know.
Yeah, they want to ban it because you eat meat, you're using coal. Do you know, get this, in my neighborhood, it's illegal to have a fire pit because it affects the ozone layer. So about 2-3 years ago, a few of my friends went out and they had started a fire pits all over the neighborhood. And do you know what happened?
What?
The fucking fire department drove all over town looking for these fire pits to put them out. I'm not even joking. I was sitting here and I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? Because I heard the fire engines just driving all over all night. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And it was the new law. They forced the fire department to drive around and try to find the fire pits all night. But, you know, my friends were actually, like, not in yards. They were, like, in the woods and shit doing this. And, yeah, sent the fire department out all night looking for these fire pits to squash just because it was affecting the ozone layer. How much taxpayers' money did that cost is my thought. You know, how much fuel did they waste?
Too damn much.
Yeah. But that's the other thing. They're like, oh, well, you're making holes in the ozone layer. Like, really?
Don't care. Global warming is a myth.
Well, not even. Let's roll it back a little bit. So when it's in a fire pit, it's burning a hole in the ozone layer. But this is literally how the ordinance works. If you have skewers with meat over this fire pit, then it's a barbecue, so it doesn't fall under the stipulation. So barbecuing animal flesh actually prevents holes in the ozone layers, according to this law. That's what it's saying, at least is my interpretation. And you see, this is the reason I have, like, you got to realize you live in Texas. So remember all the crazy shit that they try to pull in Austin that everyone is, like, up in arms because Austin turned into a blue cesspool?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. That's what they did. Now, what I'm saying to you is what's slowly happening to Texas is what started happening here about 30 years ago when I was a kid.
Well, the thing is also, Austin is nobody takes them seriously. We actually just tell them to go fuck off.
Yeah. And no one took, this is the thing, you got to realize, up until Cuomo became governor, my state was not a loony bin. It was nowhere near as bad as it's gotten under Cuomo. Cuomo got into office and he started changing the laws right and left. I'll never forget it. When he started changing those laws, I think it was like in Obama's last year or two, that's when, and look, you're going to say I sound conspiracy and tinfoil hat. I don't care because I honestly think that the Democrats are a terrorist organization. I would not put it past them to be somehow behind all that upswing in school shootings all of a sudden. I'm not surprised that all these crazy people were able to get their hands on guns. I would not put it past the fucking Democratic Party to put the guns in their hands and to put them in the schools. I have that much disdain and animosity for these evil fucks. I think that they're capable of that. Matter of fact, I think that they're more than capable of it. Look at Benghazi. I got no problem saying that about the Democrats. As far as I'm concerned, they are everything that is supposed to be anti-American. They are the domestic threat in all threats, foreign and domestic. And as far as I'm concerned, they are the reason that Russia is prosperous now is because the Soviets have infiltrated the fucking Democrats. I say that with no shame, and I'll say it publicly. Oh, wait, I just did. I dealt with the state today. I'm in no mood for the fucking Democrats.
Fuck these movies.
Oh, come on. You know I'm not talking about you. Do you get a check from the Democratic National Committee? Then you're not a Democrat. Seriously. I'm registered Republican. I'm the furthest thing from a Republican you can get. I don't like NASCAR. Patches. Patches, Daddy's not feeding you anymore, you tubby fuck. Go away. We got any other good stories going on, or what's going on, guys?
I'm going to look right now.
All right, cool.
Well, I've got St. Louis police officer killed by fellow cop, died during a game of Russian roulette.
Ouch.
Okay.
The two cops are playing Russian roulette, and one of them died.
That usually happens in Russian roulette.
Yeah, but these two cops were playing this while on the job.
Kelt, I got a question.
Yeah.
Were they in Florida?
St. Louis.
Oh, all right.
Missouri.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist taking the shot.
Oh, the thing that says Gap debuts new line of children's sweaters to clutch to the chest when son goes missing. The Onion is ruthless.
Awesome. I didn't know they were still alive. I figured the mainstream media was beating them out hands down.
Hey, I follow them on Twitter, man.
What'd the Onion say?
Gap debuts new line of children's sweaters to clutch to the chest when son goes missing.
That's so wrong.
I don't get it.
Man.
Can you send a link?
Give me a second. Let me pull it up myself.
You know, I was watching actually since starting to wind down and we got to the meat of the stories. I was watching earlier, trying to anyway, Black Pigeon Speaks put up a new video. And it was about what's going on with these Covington kids. And I was reading about, like, with this Kathy Griffin, like, with all her calls to violence and all this shit. I mean, let me just say this, like, now, right now, publicly for the record. If I personally find out that these kids, like, fall into any harm and it's because this crazy bitch calling for harm to happen to them, I don't have to sit there and, like, say I'm gonna go, like, do this, that, and the third. What I'll say is this. I got no problem running up on her and sticking a camera in her face in Midtown in front of all these leftists and questioning the shit out of her and reducing the crazy broad to tears. No trouble doing that at all.
Well, it doesn't take much to reduce Kathy Griffin to tears.
Yeah. I'm going to flat out tell her. Did anyone ever tell you look like Andy Dick and Drag?
All right, so here's the article from The Onion. San Francisco, calling it the utmost in style and comfort for an ordeal no parent should ever have to go through. The Gap unveiled Wednesday its new Hope Against Hope collection of sweaters designed to be held tightly to the chest when one son has gone missing. This sweater is perfect for anxiously clutching while you try and quiet the thoughts that have been racing nonstop through your mind since you got the call 2 weeks ago that your son didn't show up for school, said the company's director of marketing, Sandra Ostroff, adding that the sweater ranged from extra small to huskier sizes to accommodate any boy who remains unreachable despite literally hundreds of calls placed by his terrified parents to his cell phone. You'll love the softness of the 100% merino wool as you drop to your knees, hold the sweater close to your tear-streaked face, and rock back and forth, repeating his name, hoping to God to wake up from this nightmare. Ostroff went on to say that at just $24.99, the sweaters are affordable enough for parents with two sons who disappeared last month on a hiking trip.
Wow. Wow. That's harsh.
It is.
How is it harsh?
It's about those kids that went missing. Yeah. I at first thought it was about the sanctuary city. I was gonna say it would be nice if the Onion was actually taking a shot at the left, but
The Onion ever do that? No.
No,
Here's
not at all.
another funny ass article. Crowd feeling kind of silly now after spending all that time pleading rooftop sniper not to jump.
Say what?
I'll give you a second. I'm pulling this one up too.
I don't know. I guess I'm one of the ones that doesn't think that the Onion is funny at all.
Bro, some of their articles as a writer, I really do enjoy and cherish some of their things. They wrote one about may he rest in peace, Pope John Paul, about him, the effect of his Alzheimer's, what it was doing to the Vatican, because they had to store all the stuff that he was blessing. Because he was being forgetful and he was just blessing everything he was going past, and it's part of the Catholic dogma where they if the Pope blesses something, they have to store it in the Vatican archive. So they were writing how there was a dilemma because he kept blessing the planes that he was getting on and off of. So they said how the Vatican had to install a hangar. Again, it was just the writing itself. It wasn't even the meat of the article. It was just how it was written. And for the life of me, I wish I still had that issue, because if I ever had the opportunity to get in contact with that writer, that's one of those things where I'd buy him a beer.
All right, the title again. Crowd feeling kind of silly now after spending all that time pleading a rooftop sniper not to jump. Santa Rosa, California, admitting the man standing on the ledge of the roof had really got them good. The crowd gathered at a Santa Rosa plaza admitted to reporters Friday they felt pretty silly after spending all that time pleading with a rooftop sniper not to jump. Boy, do I feel stupid for telling that guy he had so much to live for right before he whipped out his M110 semi-automatic, said a 37-year-old Austin McCaffrey, one of the 58 shoppers who had spotted a disturbed individual pacing atop a building, came to his aid, and then had no choice but to run for their lives after the goof-up. Remember when we told the guy to really think of his family? That made him even more mad. In our defense, he did end up getting pretty disturbed, just not in the way we thought. Foot in my mouth, right? At press time, the crowd told reporters that they got together and had a good laugh afterwards, especially when they learned the sniper had just ended up turning the firearm on himself.
Yeah, that's the Onion, because I'm going to be real blunt. An M110, you can't do that. What are you going to do? Take your shoe off and pull the trigger with your toe? Fucking Onion.
Yeah, that's the whole point of the Onion.
Gotta love him, though. I don't know. Like, I at one point actually even considered writing for them. Many, many years ago. I'm just curious. I don't mean to keep going back to it, but this JLTV, the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle, is by Oshkosh.
Uh-huh.
That's not the same company that owns Oshkosh Bagosh Children's Clothing, is it?
I don't think so.
It would be so cool if they started doing children's clothing commercials with mommy and daddy dropping the kids off to school in one of these fucking things. That's the only reason I ask. Oh. You know, it is. Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm looking at this thing. I guess it was just I had to get past that huge, hideous nose of the thing. It's starting to grow on me. It really is.
It's a hideous. I mean, they make fire trucks. They make,
Yeah.
you know, they build a lot of shit for the military. They also build fire trucks. They build specialty like oil field trucks.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure. What okay, we're a company. They make JLGs, Oshkosh Defense, Frontline communication. It doesn't say that they actually make clothes anywhere in there.
All right. Too bad. Because I know what is it? It's Oshkosh, Wisconsin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's probably then just the city name. You know, it's probably the clothing company is also located in that same city.
All right,
Still.
you guys might actually get a kick out of this one.
All right.
Jimmy Carter, concerned desire for fresh faces in Democratic Party may hurt his chances in 2020.
I really hope that's satirical.
Plains, Georgia, and I drove through there, by the way. Next time I go through, I'm finding his fucking house and saying hi to him. Admitting that the current polling numbers caused him to rethink plans for the upcoming presidential election, 39th President Jimmy Carter told reporters Wednesday that he was concerned that the desire for fresh faces in the Democratic Party might hurt his chances in 2020. I've definitely been considering a run, but if Democratic voters are so focused on getting someone new in there, it's going to really put a damper on my ability to rally the party, said Carter, 94, who worried that his record, including his last holding public office almost 40 years ago, would turn off voters who wanted someone younger. I really think I have the vision and policy proposals that could unite a broad swath of voters, but my advisors are telling me it will be pretty hard to gain the nomination in the face of calls for new voices in the party. I'm not calling off a run yet. I've just got to consider the hard truth that my time to be the face of the Democratic Party may have passed. Carter added that he had never forgiven Ted Kennedy for mounting a campaign against him in the 1980 primaries and handing the election to Reagan.
Oh, no, he was not going to beat Reagan anyway, but, you know, he can keep telling himself that.
Yeah, look, it's a known fact Jimmy Carter is the reason Reagan got elected. I mean, I remember, like, I was very young. I was maybe a year old, 2 years old, and my brother was a teenager, and he was in the Marines at the time. He was, like, I think 17 or 18 when he enlisted. You could actually go back then as young as 16 if you got parental permission. You didn't even need a diploma at the time. But my brother went in, and he was supposed to be deployed to go and clear up that debacle that Carter was sitting there and being a pussy about. And that's, you remember they released him the minute that Reagan got sworn in?
Well, I mean, the problem was Carter that whole fucking aborted plan was a fucking aborted fetus to begin with. Yeah. I mean, they were like, oh, we're going to send in the Navy SEALs with Marine pilots that don't have any clue what they're doing flying at night, an aircraft not rated to fly at night, you know. And of course, it's going to be like, you know, a bad idea.
Yeah. He was, I think that was, my brother was, oh God, I can't remember which ship it was for the life of me. It's one of my favorite ships, actually. Yeah, I know, I'm a boat nerd, I admit it. But I remember he was on the ship at the time, and he was out. They were in the Gulf, and they were waiting because I think what you're talking about was the first wave, and then they were going to send them in afterwards. Like
no, it was one special operations mission that was supposed to happen. It was Delta Force Operation Honey Badger. They were going to fly off at night in fucking Sea Knights or big helicopters, Sea Stallions. They were going to meet a C-130 that had landed in the middle of the Iranian desert somewhere to refuel them and then go in and rescue it. It was poorly planned and poorly executed, to say the best.
All right, so the Marines were just the pilots then. What exactly then was Recon's
No job.
No job?
No job.
Then what were they just on? They were on standby or something then?
No, Recon likes to insert themselves into operations they weren't actually part of a lot.
Ah.
It's bravado.
Gotcha.
Because because the Marines don't have a legitimate special operations force.
Yeah.
And they tend to be like, oh, we're Marines, wow. And I'm like, dude, you don't have an actual legitimate special operations force, so get over yourself. But no, they've been saying that, you know, they've been doing their whole, we are the whole, we're Marine Corps, we're awesome. But, you know, they are not as awesome as they'd like to think they are. I mean, and the reason they were using Marine pilots is that was the ship that was in the position at the time. It was recommended that they not do that, but, you know, people don't like to listen to that.
So I'm guessing that was then the ship that his recon division was probably stationed on.
Yeah.
That would make sense then. Okay, because I remember it was his ship specifically. I don't have the ship's name in front of me. It was we don't utilize ships like that anymore, actually. I think that this ship was one of the last ones of that class that we had constructed. I forget what the fuck they got us using now. You know, I feel bad. I have actually not read up on it in a few months. So I got the picture of what it looks like in my head, but I can't remember the name for the class. So I apologize for not having that information handy. You know what? Let me look at my Discord while we're talking here. I might actually have it on hand and not even realize it.
Well, a lot of those ships, if they were in service in 1983, they're not in service anymore if they aren't a carrier.
That wasn't a carrier. It wasn't a carrier proper.
That's what I'm saying. If it's not a carrier, it's out of service.
Yeah. This one, I believe, is actually, it's not that, I don't want to say mothballed. I want to say that they have it, like, where they're using it for some other auxiliary thing. Oh, where the hell is this thing? Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, what was the name of this fucker? Patches, get the hell out of here. I said I'm not feeding you anymore. Gonna have to roll you out. Yeah, Discord's a freaking, it's a bitch. It doesn't want to work for me. It's frozen again. All right. So, I guess it's one of those things that's just gonna have to remain a mystery until next time.
Yeah.
Here's what it is. Ugh, goodness. So we're about 10 minutes out.
Yeah.
Anyone got anything they want to cover? Well, we got 10 minutes left.
Actually, we have to go till 12:30.
Says who?
Well, yeah, it is your show.
Yeah, nah, 12 o'clock. I honestly have to be up at 7 o'clock in the morning, so I got to be at the college by about 8 a.m. to go in and get everything done, because I got to be home by about 10 a.m. to take her up to get her nails done, and then since it's our anniversary, I think we're gonna go into Manhattan for a little bit in the morning, and then I got to come back out here, and I think we're gonna do dinner and a movie. So I'm thinking we're gonna take her to go see Bumblebee, since like yeah, you said it's good. Plus, she loved Transformers just for Bumblebee, so we'll probably go see that.
And he's a bug again.
Oh, nice. That'll make it. That makes it good even for me then.
Bumblebee was technically the first Transformer to be sent to Earth.
What, in this new movie?
According to the reboot of the comics and manga.
Oh, I could give a fuck less about them and their
Yeah,
reboots.
in the movie, he's the first Autobot sent to Earth.
Yep.
I'll go with whatever the movie is going with, but I'm a Generation 1 kind of guy, so that's all. I'm sorry.
Then you're gonna like this movie then, because there's quite a bit of reference to the Gen 1 series.
All right, cool. So please don't give me any more spoilers, because I'm going to be sitting there tomorrow in the theater cursing your name. Like, how can he...
There was a trailer that said that he was the first one sent.
Right, no, I mean, I don't want any more spoilers about the Gen 1 shit. I want to go there and see all the Easter eggs and be pleasantly surprised.
You will.
Well, I promise you, they're going to be fabulous.
Okay, cool.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm just being a bitch.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll enjoy it either way. You know, I mean, I'm hoping. Hollywood's been really disappointing lately. Like, I forget who the hell was I talking to the other night about Hollywood. But the problem that we're having with Hollywood is a lot of people don't realize and I feel like a conspiracy theorist saying this, except for the fact that you can just type in um, Chinese Communist Party Hollywood, and you'll get tons of videos on it that they bought like 80% of the shares in all of the studios. So that's the reason, like, the Meg took place outside of Hong Kong. You know, that's the reason that all these movies, like, you went and seen what the fuck was it, Independence Day, and all of a sudden it's a joint thing with the Chinese, and we the Americans need Chinese tech. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, you guys
It's definitely why it's sci-fi.
a cute 15-second video?
What's up?
So do you want to see a cute 15-second video?
Sure, why not?
There you go.
What is that, wild bobcat?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I just saw that.
Yeah, Bobcat and Kitty want to be friends.
Very cool. That's just the fuck you want. This is not an eat-a-thon. Get the hell out of here. Fucking dog. Ugh. All he wants to do is eat and eat and eat.
You should stop starving your dog.
I'm not starving him. Seriously. Come here, Patches. It's like you're the reincarnation of Aunt Josie. Come on. My father's sister Josie, may she rest in peace. Neat, she could eat. Look, come on, she'd eat everything in the fridge. Come here, take that. Get the hell out of here. Wasn't Aunt Josie was the big eater? I can't remember. I don't think Lane Catherine was just big. I don't remember. My father had so many sisters. Yeah, you know, I'll be honest. I go till 12:30, Tara, but it's only the four of us. We went through all the material, and you know, there's only so much that we can really rehash the same shit over and over and over.
Yeah, there's no reason we have to stick to 1 hour and 20 minutes. I mean, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. It's just going to get old and boring.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd love to do that, but it's just one of those things. It's been a long week for me. It's been a tiring week. I had a lot of shit that I had to deal with, a lot of insanity, a lot of these people and their fucking nonsense. And, you know, I got a lot of shit to do tomorrow with my anniversary, and normally I'd have no problem going the full 2 hours, but I'm just tired. And it's just shit. So we're at the last 5 minutes. Has anyone got anything to show?
Burnside is hosting Musketeers tomorrow night.
Awesome. Kel, you got anything?
Nope.
What about you, Nano? Anything?
No.
All right. And Tara, what about you? Anything to show?
I just showed it. Burnside is hosting.
Well, for Burnside, I meant for you. Anything for you?
Not really.
No new sewing videos?
I have to make it first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, okay, so you got to be working on something.
Hopefully next week I'll be working on my friend's wedding dress. I did post a video about my sewing machine for those who were saying, weren't you crowdfunding one? Yeah, I ended up getting a sewing machine, an older model, and the reviews I've heard about it say it's a workhorse and people are actually looking for my machine. So it's a good thing I already got it.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Very cool.
So it will do everything I want it to do.
That's good. Well, congratulations. I'm glad that you finally got the damn thing. I know that you've been trying to get it for a while.
Oh, I've had it for a while. It's just I finally got it moved over to my aunt's house.
Okay. Oh, this was that one. The old one. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I get to... It's hard following exactly what the hell's going on with you and those sewing machines.
Yeah, I got this one last year. It's just, the roommate kept saying, we're going to rearrange the living room so that you can have a sewing space. We never fucking did it. And I need to make this damn wedding dress. So I talked to my aunt. She said I can move take the fabric, the patterns, all the stuff I need to sew, including my sewing machine, which luckily comes out of the table. And take it over there and set it up to sew.
Oh, very cool.
So right now I'm cleaning up the sewing machine so that it doesn't break down on me while I'm sewing.
All right, that sounds good then. Like, I seen the video that you uploaded. I was watching it. It's pretty cool. I'm not too familiar with sewing machines. I've used them before when I had to for shit, but, I got no idea what I'm doing. I'd usually, if I could actually set it up myself, it was a miracle, but usually someone else would do it.
Well, I didn't say in the video, I don't think, but the machine I have is only about 10 years younger than the machine that my aunt had that I learned how to sew on. Mm-hmm. The only difference between our two machines is the fact that mine requires a cam to do different special designs, whereas hers didn't do special designs. It had the same basic designs that mine do, normal stitches, but for mine, instead of going out and getting an entire embroidery machine to do all these special stitches, I just put a cam in it.
Right.
In the top, and it does the design stitch.
I gotcha. Oh, of course, the fucking retard daughter has to come down, making all sorts of a racket right when I'm about to show my shit and end the stream. All right. Well, anyway, that being said, for those of you watching, you know the deal. I'm Scooby331. Thank you for tuning in. You guys can find me here on YouTube. I am on Gab AI, Minds.com, Patreon, and PayPal. I am currently looking to do crowdfunding, so if you guys could hit me up in the PayPal app, any donations would be appreciated. I'm currently looking to get actually about $1,000 is exactly how much I would need right now to get all the equipment that is necessary, but $600 is pretty much, I could start working with that right now. I'm looking to try to get a little bit more equipment so I can stream mobilely daily from Manhattan. So this would actually put me right at the mark where I need to be to do a daily video blog from Manhattan. And I was actually thinking about it. If I have that equipment, once the weather's nice, I'm going to start possibly doing the Friday night streams from Midtown every Friday. So just to add a little bit more oomph to this, the show will pretty much be, streaming live from Manhattan. So, I'll present to the crowd while walking through the city, just to give us a little bit of an edge and a little bit of pizzazz, I figured. So there is that option also. But as for projects I'm working on right now, tomorrow's my anniversary, and that's not a project I'm working on. I'm just saying after my anniversary, I believe the 5th, if I'm not mistaken, is Chinese New Year. So I'll most likely be heading up into Flushing to go film as their Chinatown, the newer one. It's a lot easier than going to Chinatown and Manhattan. Chinatown and Manhattan smells. It's overcrowded. I don't really feel like getting into a fight with the fucking triads in a subway. There's a lot of cons to going up into Manhattan for New Year. So I'll be going to Flushing. So look for that video. That's what I got cooking right now.
Okay, day. Let me know when to hit the button.
Oh, I'm good. We're done. So I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Until next week, I'm Scooby331, and thank you very much for joining us here on Friday Night Chaos. Take care and good night.
Bye, fuckers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.